Greetings, my name is Chommell and this is an exploration of the entire galaxy sector by sector. Today we're looking at Chommell Sector in the 17th Chrome Shield Command in the mid-rim of the trailing sectors. Chommell Sector is basically the model for Republic sectors. Its capital is Naboo, by far the biggest and most important planet of the sector. It has its own style of government, a popularly elected supreme executive who's called a queen, even though that's not how queens work, but whatever. It has its own distinct culture, and the sector is ruled in accordance with that culture and legal tradition. Chommell Sector gives other planets in the sector a fair bit of autonomy in the same way that the Republic gives Chommell Sector a lot of autonomy. But the dominant economic, cultural, and political position of Naboo means that when Padme Amidala hosted the Chommell Sector Summit, she was in a position to pretty much tell everyone else how the sector was going to be run, and the only reason she didn't do that is because she's a class act who wanted to foster friendship and unity within the sector. Naboo is the homeworld of the Gungans. Its first human colonists arrived in the Old Republic era, and initially the two species had basically no interaction whatsoever. The humans stuck to the abundantly fertile river valleys near the planet's primary mountain ranges, while the amphibious Gungans never went further than a few hundred feet from sea level in either direction. In fact, the Gungans' primary war of unification happened after the humans' arrival, not as a result of it, but because the presence of a small human colony made so little difference to Gungan politics that they felt no need to present a united front to outsiders. The Civil War is multi-factional, but ultimately coalesced into two coalitions, one led by Boss Rogo and the other led by Boss Gallo. Boss Gallo won, and on the ruins of his rival's capital and the site of the final battle, he built Ota Gunga, a city for all Gungans. As human presence on Naboo spread, the Gungans became vaguely aware of the existence of a greater galaxy, but they were distrustful of outsiders, so they never took up space travel or even ventured much beyond the coasts. So the Naboo colonized the rest of Chommell Sector, and they were the ones to join the Republic early on in the High Republic era, after the city-states of Naboo were united in a unification war of their own. Naboo got invaded twice in galactic history. The first time was near the end of the High Republic era when the Nihil Raiders started biting off chunks of Republic space. A Republic defense coalition bringing together multiple sector militaries eventually evicted them. The Nihil had enough troops and ships, and their heavy hitters were personally scary enough that the usual High Republic tactic of just throwing Jedi at the problem didn't work, but they were still particularly dangerous pirates, not really an enemy nation, so the Republic did not have to give up on the Ruusan Reformation to defeat them. The second time Naboo was invaded is the more famous event. Sith conspiracy, dispute over taxation of the outlying systems, blockade, invasion, alliance with the Gungans, this is pod racing. In the late Republic and Imperial era, Naboo became one of the cultural and political strongholds of the Republic in the Mid-Rim, similar to planets like Kashyyyk and the Outer Rim's Iriadu, proof that, despite the failure of the High Republic to bring the light of the core to places like Ryloth and Geonosis, it wasn't fundamentally impossible to make the Republic work far outside the core. The whole Emperor Palpatine thing put kind of a stain on Naboo's reputation, and I suspect that the heavy emphasis on the career of die-hard Republic loyalist Padme Amidala in Papanoida's Clone Wars films might have been intended to help rehabilitate the planet's reputation by emphasizing its long and proud history before Palpatine. And, not for nothing, while Naboo was never a particularly effective rebel stronghold, it was always full of rebel sympathizers. There was an assassination attempt on Darth Vader there that consisted almost exclusively of Naboo elites, former friends and allies of Queen Amidala, one of the planet's most beloved leaders. It also probably helped Naboo's reputation that it was one of the targets of Operation Cinder, Palpatine's contingency plan to kill Imperial planets for failing to prevent his death. Imperial satellites would have completely destabilized the planet's atmosphere and killed most or all of the inhabitants, but they were taken out by a rebel fleet led by Lando Calrissian.